All right, Declan, this is going to be I'm going to try to make it a short movie. So first thing I do is load up your email, and here's the file I want to download, the original architectural drawing, and it downloads. Okay, we're going to go here, do show in folder, and there it is. Pick this guy. I'm going to do cut just to grab it, or copy, doesn't really matter, copy. Then I'm going to go to C drive, go to Carlson Projects 2016. I'm going to make a new project folder, and we'll call this pen-re-survey. Hit enter twice, and then hit the right key, paste. And that is the file, 5 meg. Now we're going to load up AutoCAD. Now I'm grabbing the Civil Suite menu, but you're going to pick the little surveyor green icon to load Carlson Survey. But we're doing the same thing. All right, I'm going to pick Exit here. And in this case, we're going to do File Open, just like you normally do. So I do File Open, and we're going to double pick here, pick this guy, pick Open. And the very first thing I'm going to do is do zoom extents, and we can see that we have a ton of other information. I only want this information right there, but the first thing I want to do is save it to a new name. So we're going to go to File and do Save As, and we're going to call it, I'm going to put it here and do ARCHI-Archi, so we know that that's the one we're working in within architectural units. And we're going to check the architectural units next. So I do this, and now anything I do to this file will not change the file that they sent us with all this information here. Now that I've done that, I can just type units. That's how I do it, units. And you can see that it's correct, architectural, this. Now it says unit list, that's coming from Carlson. Make sure it says inches. Decimal degrees, precision is 4 places, and we'll just pick OK. At this point, I want to erase everything, so I type E for erase, type in all, and then I type R for remove, and I window up just in the area that I don't want to remove this information, and I just come up here and pick that, and now I just hit return, and you can see that it's erased everything else in the drawing. I go up to File, and I do Save. Now, we want to create points, and just for speed right here. Now, one of the things, I'm in the Kogo. Remember that you're going to go, my menu right here, I can put it up there so you can see it, so it's the same as yours. But you're going to go between the Survey menu, which I'm in, and the AutoCAD menu, which is what you're familiar with. And quite frankly, I've been training for 30 plus years selling software. You are the first I've trained where I'm letting you stay in the architectural units and just continue to work as you normally have for many years to keep all that expertise so you can keep using it. And this movie is to show you how once you create the points in Carlson Survey, you then go exit out, save, exit out, and go into a brand new drawing and insert, not open, insert this drawing and rename it to US feet as opposed to Archi or Arch. Okay, at this point, we're going to go back to Kogo, and we're going to do Kogo here, draw locate points. By the way, if you type LP, that works. Also, if you have a toolbar that you can find, that's the icon that's on there. So I pick draw locate points, and we're going to do screen pick a point. Everything's on. Description, elevations, locate on real Z, point numbers. Point numbers starting at 1. I'll say 100. Automatic point numbering, it will just keep going to 101, 102. And just like the data collector, if you type in P100, it will do P101 as the next point, P102, and so forth. If you do 1P or 1A, it will do 1A, then 1B, then 1C. Just to let you know. Okay, at this point, the layer, I'm just going to leave it in the default. The only thing I changed was the starting point number 100, and I then pick screen pick. All right, we're going to come up here and we're going to pick that guy right there. Now, the first time you do it, it says no coordinate files loaded. So we need to load a coordinate file, and it's going to have the same name as the name of the drawing that we renamed with Arca in front of it. So I'm just going to pick open, and it's going to go into the same work directory that we were saved the drawing, or put the drawing. Pick open, and now it says what's the elevation. Now, one thing you got to remember, you're an architectural unit, so everything's 12 times bigger. So I want this to be 1 foot. So I'm going to type in 12. And by the way, if it was negative, I wanted it to be negative 1 foot, it would be negative 12. So I hit return, and this would be I'll do caps lock, P1, enter. Oh, heck, I've got different, my points look a lot different, don't they? Anyway, I'm going to keep going. I'll make another movie, but we're going to hit this. I'm going to type in P2. Go here, and P3. I was doing training for another company that uses these point symbols, different from our default. Okay, I'll type LP this time, locate points. Screen pick a point, and we'll pick right here. And let's say I want the elevation to be negative 12. I'll do negative 20, or 2, I mean. I'll do negative 24, and we'll do P1. And right there, and I got selection set turned on, which is somewhere there. And I want the green polyline right there. And that would be negative 24. That would be P2. Negative 24, and that will be P3. And negative 24, and that will be P4. And I think that's enough of what we want to do right now. Now, I do want to, okay, let's just say I want to put in something right here. I'm still in locate points. I'll do center, C-E-N, or you can hit the shift key and hit the right key and come up and pick center. And it picks right there. And this will be negative 48, so it'll be negative 4. And this will be, we'll just say 104. And I'll do one more. And right there. And this will be negative 48 too, and it'll be 114. All right. Hit enter. And at this point, we're going to come up to File, or we'll pick the big A up here, and do Save. So that saves that. Hit Exit. We're completely exiting out. And then I load up Carlson Survey, which you would pick the little man, which, you know, I don't see it, but I installed Civil Suite, not Carlson Survey and CADNet. So we're going to pick this, which has AutoCAD. I'm not going to skip the association. All right, now there we go. We're going to hit Exit. We're not going to load that same drawing because we want to use the Insert command. And if I go up to Settings here and go down to Units Control, you can see that it's set to decimal, which is surveyor type units, unit list, survey units. Again, this is immaterial. You can change that to what you want, and but leave it unit list, decimal, 0, and not architectural or 16. Pick this guy right here, and now we come up to the draw drop down. Pick inverse, insert. Gee, what is inverse? Pick insert. Go to Browse and exit out. Go to 2016, Pen Resurvey, and we pick the architectural ground, not the original one, which has all that data. We want to pick that one, which is the area that we created those points in architectural units. So, and we pick open, and we always make sure it comes in exploded. We don't change this. We actually come up here and type in 1 divided by 12. We don't change its rotation or its origin. And we pick OK. Oh, units. And you can come up to View or type ZE. And there it is. Now, the first thing I want to check is some of the dimensions right here. Okay, some of the dimensions came in small, and I typed in layer off, large. So I'll pick this. Well, anyway. Let's go to inverse, which is the SurvCE's distance command. Type inverse, type 100. Okay. Um, all right. Well, that's just right off the bat that I forgot completely about doing what? About going to File and doing Save As. And let's go up here, pick 2016, Penn Survey. We'll pick the ARCE, and we're going to change ARCE to US feet. All right, US feet, do save. And now we have two drawings, and I want to create all these points in a new file. So I go to Points, Coordinate File Utilities, and it comes up and says, hey, hold on a second. You don't have a coordinate file created. You want to make an existing one? No, it's actually a new one. And I'll do New, and I'll do Update Coordinate File from Drawing. This guy down here. Pick OK, go with the defaults, and just type in all, enter, enter. List points, and 100 through 109, and there they are. Now notice that because I scaled everything, everything was 12 times bigger, including the elevations, which I didn't train you on yesterday. They are now correct, -1, -2, and -4. And the descriptions, again, 100, the customer had these blocks that I was using. So I'm not going to look into that one point there. But anyway, there you have it. Now, I know that you create points right here, but one thing I forgot about was the origin right here. And I'm going to type ID and pick endpoint. And let's just say that you want to put that, at 0, 0. So, I mean, at 100, 100. So right now I'm just going to type in, and by the way, always use just 2D polyline and 3D polyline if you could. The reason is, if I do 2D polyline, I can set the elevation to whatever I want, and I'll just say this is control, and pick OK, and right now I'll just snap to the endpoint there, and then type 100, comma 100, comma 0. And right there you can see that, oh, look at that. I guess you already did it, or they already did it. And that's where this polyline is there. So that's good. I'm just going to leave it right there. And at this point, you may have created a on the sidewalk, 2 tick marks. I'm going to hit F8 for ortho and just do that. And then I'll just type in 2DP, which is that command up here for 2D polyline. I'll do control, and I'll just do that guy there, do the shift key, and come down and do perpendicular, or type PER, and there you have it. And all right, so we have a point right there. And now remember that extend by distance command, use it all the time. Come down to extend by distance. I picked the last line that I picked, and polyline, and right now I'm just going to say L for, and let's say it's 118.875 feet away. And how far did that go? Didn't go far enough. All right, so I'll do T for total distance and just say 585. And I think that went a little too far. So we'll do T for total distance, 325. And there we go. All right, so I want to create 2 points on this line right there. So I go up here to go to Kogo, draw locate points, screen pick a point, pick that endpoint there. That's the polyline I want, and I'll just say 100, and that will be station 1. And there you have it, station 1, and I'll pick that point right there. And 105.857, and that will be station 2. And we'll pick OK. And now you have your 2 points that you're ready to send to resection right there. And if I go to points right here, I do list points just to check what I have. I got my 2 resection points, and I have all this right here. So you put your resection points on the building, but I'm just making 2 points right there anyway. All right, at this point, it is ready to be uploaded into the data collector, and I do have SurvCE right here, demo. So whoops, drop that down there, and we'll go right here, and I'm gonna do, all right, I'll come back to that later. I got SurvCE up here. Now, the one last thing I need is I need this line work in here as much as this is line work. And remember, if there's anything that's drawn here that's a block, I don't know what's a block here. Let's go to Drawing Inspector, Polyline Data. How about just plain info? Entity type. There we go. Display entity type. That one right there. Now, I'm just going to go around. That's lightweight polyline, I'm just moving my cursor around until I find some circle. Everything's pretty good in this drawing. That's a arc. That's an insert. That's text, that's why. What's that? All right, I don't see any blocks here, so they're all polylines, so it's going to draw. But if I wanted to draw something right here, I'd just go up to 2D polyline for one elevation. And now this, because I'm in US feet right here, I can put in its real elevation. I can say, oh, let's make it negative 1.25 right there. Hit enter or pick OK. And I'll leave it in control right there. And I'll just go pick. U for undo. I'll pick here, pick there, and type C to close. All right, so there you go. We've got that right there. And if I wanted to add additional points but offset them, I do want to show you one command, building offset extensions. Pick this guy here, pick the polyline, that's what I drew. Hit return, and it says what starting point number is 110. I'll say 201. And offset distance, let's just make it 5 foot. And create extension points. You'll see what it does. Perpendicular points, obviously, you want. And that's the layer. It's going to put it in, pick it in, and there you have it. And they're all very big. So let's go up to resize point attributes, scale, and type 0.25. Symbols and screen pickup, screen select, and I'll hit return and just do a little window around those points right there. And you can see that it created, oh, look at the symbols. All right, this is another customer's symbols, but you can see that it created 5 foot offsets. And if I go back to Kogo, or I pick or type I for inverse at the command prompt, and I pick this endpoint, and I come down there and pick there, block reference obviously, it's 5 feet. If I come over here to pick that one, and come down to here, it's 5 feet. And if I just type 205, it goes to that one, and then I'll go to 204, and that's one, yeah, and then I'll just pick the endpoint right there, and I have selection set turned on, but it's 5 feet. Anyway, hit return, and at this point, we have those points in the added points in the, I'll do all this time, so I get everything. And if I scroll down, there's those points that I just added. Now, they're all 5 foot offset. I could have put in a description that said 5 foot offset, so I would have known they were 5 foot offsets, which would have been a good idea, but didn't do it. If you want to edit any points, you can come down here and just type in 5 foot OF or whatever you want to call it. How about 5 foot, not L? And I'll do copy and do Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V. And there's a faster way to do this, but I'm not going to show you. Control V and Control V, and that's 201 to 208. Do File, Save, and Exit. Okay. All right. At this point, the last thing I want to do in this movie is right block and output a DXF file for SurvCE. So I pick right block, select objects. Obviously, I want to select everything. Hit return. And right here, it's going to try to make a DWG, and I want to make a DXF file. So I hit the triple dot, and it's in a different directory than I want to be. So I go here, here, pop it right here, and I change this to a 2007 DXF file just because it's safe. And we'll just say this is for US feet SurvCE 1, just so we know. Pick save and pick OK. All right, now let's minimize this guy here, and now we're going to do select new job, and I want to, this is, whoops, I wanted to be in Carlson Projects 2016, Penn Survey, US feet, that's the one we want to grab, and everything's good there. Decimal feet, you want decimal degrees, lat long doesn't matter, you're not working a lat long. Successful connection, whatever that means. Go to the map screen, come up to file, do import DXF file, there it is, and there you go. And now if I window up, yeah, I can come up here and we can window up. One thing that SurvCE is nice is it auto scales the drawing. So as you zoom up on a certain area, because it gets cluttered really quickly, but if you zoom up to just the area you want to offset like this, you can. Now be aware you can come down here and do create points, polylines 2 points right there. And if I pick that guy, selected one, hit enter, avoid duplicates, yes. Starting point number 2009, that sounds good. And you can see that I just created 4 points. So now I could have done that in Carlson Survey, but I did it in Carlson Survey and in SurvCE just to show you that you could do it both right there. So at this point, you're ready to go to Survey and do stake points. And come over here, I'll do manual total station, go to stake points. You would be with your total station, the Leica 302, I guess. And here's point number 1, and you could just type in 2 if you want to. Do backside. I'm going to set the angle right there, so it just zeros. Pick OK, and right now we want to stake out, let's say we want to stake out 209. So I pick this. There's the angle you need to turn, and it tells you to move out 202, but you're reflectorless, so you're going to shoot that. Anyway, okay, so that's all you have to turn to is that, and then try to sight the object right here. And again, remember, if you hit this guy here and do freeze points, it will just show you the occupied point, the backside point, and the point that you're staking out, which you can zoom up on. Whoop. And hit the plus key. Whoa. And keep going there, and that's that right there. Now if I go to freeze points and do thaw points, it turns them all back on again, and you get the idea. If I go back to menu and I say, oh, I want to pick another point, I can come over here and pick 210, pick OK, and there's the next angle right. So but you would want to do read for stakeout. You do store for topo or store point, but you do read for stakeout, so you can continually do it over and over again until you get the shot that you need. All right, at that point, I'm going to exit out, and I'm just going to check that in the future, because I saw in your data collector when I trained yesterday, just at the end of the day, that when I went to job settings and I didn't have cut sheet set to manual, I had it set to auto save by job and date. So I'm going to pick OK. Now I'm going to exit out. I'm going to come back to SurvCE. All right, there we go. Continue last job. And we go back to job settings. I just want to check in stake tab, cut sheets. All right, it's not. Make sure that's checked and go with the same job that they have in there, just default. And don't change any of these. You can go into Excel later when you bring in the CSV file. Oh, wrong. It's TXT. If I remember, we had to go to System, no, Options, and scroll down and check this box. Default cut sheets to Excel, CSV files. Think. And now, if I pick OK, exit out, go back into job settings, do stake, cut sheets. There it is, CSV. Just make sure that's checked before you start a job. Just pick it. Oh, pick that file so it's in there. Pick OK. And so on is, all right, bottom line, don't change anything. Just pick OK. All I want is make sure that's checked. And notice it's the job name, the date, and it puts, oh, great. I grabbed TXT because that was the file that was there before.